What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Drive Show. On today's episode, I'm actually sitting in the GWM ORA 3. So this is an all-electric offering from GWM that's under 690,000 Rand. Personally, I think this is one of the best electric cars you can get, but one of the cheapest ones. You get the best bang for your buck. It has pretty much all the bells and whistles of most of the other fancy electric cars. Now, this being the GT Ultra luxury variant of the ORA 3, it houses the entire GT style body kit, which includes the rims and the red calipers. The front end bumper includes some carbon inspired black trims and a black and red front splitter that just makes the front end look really neat. Now, moving over to the side profile, we see these 18-inch alloy GT style wheels that have the red hints on them, which looks really good with those red calipers. I generally think the braking power of these GT style calipers is the same. They just decided to paint the calipers red. Now, my favorite part of this car is definitely the rear end. I like the big GT style wing that has the red GT badging on the sides, and the overall rear end looks nice with that red and black diffuser and nice sleek looking design, and that middle bar there in the center is just a different looking car from the back. The front end design is adorable and a lot of people can easily get used to it, but the rear end is just something different. Getting inside the car, now a lot of people always complain about how the Chinese cars always have some cheap plastics when you get to the interior, but to be honest, for me it actually felt quite good in this interior. The minimal looking dashboard actually houses a 10.25 inch digital gauge cluster and a 10.25 inch dual touchscreen infotainment screen, which of course has wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can also jam onto your favorite tunes with the 6-speaker sound system in this car, which in my opinion doesn't sound that great, but I actually had a couple of friends in the car that thought the speaker system is actually a-okay. Below all those screens, you actually get shortcut buttons for your climate control and for your hazard. And no, those climate control buttons don't really let you turn up the temperature and turn it down. You still have to go through the screen to do all those things. Anyway, below that you get 2 USB ports and one 12-volt socket just above the wireless charger. Next to that, you actually get your gear selector that looks like a volume knob, and believe it or not, this is the only thing that actually is between you and actually getting the car moving, since the car does not have a start button. Under the armrest, you get a decently sized storage compartment, and you obviously have the 2 cup holders in the front and decently sized door pockets where you can also put some more stuff, including water bottles and maybe a wallet. The entire interior color scheme is actually red and black for this GT line, meaning that even the seats are finished in red and black leatherette, and the front seats are electronically controlled, and all the seats in the car actually have a GT line embroidery on the headrest, and this is color meshed together with the seat belts. Talking about the seat belts, this car actually got an ANCAP rating of 5-star, meaning that is one of the safest cars out there. Moving over to the rear seats, there's decent enough legroom, and I definitely think this is way bigger than the legroom on the Mini Cooper SE that we've reviewed before. If you haven't checked out that video, check the card up at the top of the video. With 228 liters of trunk space, but can still go up to a staggering 858 liters if you fold the rear seats down. With the same power plant for all the models of the ORA 3, the car is driven by a single motor moving the front wheels, putting down about 126 kilowatts of power and 250 newton meters of torque. Now, the differences between the models is actually in the range and the consumption. So the Ultra Luxury GT is rated to have a 16.8 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometer consumption and a range of 400 kilometer per full charge. But after a long day of doing launch control and testing the car to its paces, I was getting about 21.6 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometer. The highest range I've seen has been about 386 kilometers from a full charge. All of this energy is coming from a 63 kilowatt hour battery that can AC charge from 0 to 100% in 6.8 hours, but you can go to a fast charging DC station and charge from 0 to 80% in just 59 minutes. Living with this car has been quite, an experience. I think if you're gonna get an electric car,
you have to get in tune, get your brain, calibrated to the fact that you're actually driving an electric car. You need to actually be aware of your battery and make sure your car is charged every single time you park, if that's possible. So if you go into areas a lot, moving around in malls, and you're pretty much casually always on the road, I'd suggest you always find malls, shopping centers, or even like cafes that have electric chargers. So every single time you stop somewhere, just give the car some juice.
In conclusion, I think the Aura 3 has some pretty good potential when it comes to the base model, although this GT version being priced at a whopping 836,000 Rand, I definitely think that's a bit overpriced. At that price point, you can get an EX30 Volvo or even start looking at the BYD Atto 3. Both cars are bigger and both cars are slightly better. Although the super luxury Aura 3 is definitely still the best bang for your buck, cheapest electric car in South Africa, being priced at 687,000 Rand with an NCAP rating of 5 stars and all the safety features of all the other models, including the same power plant. The only disadvantage would just be the 310 kilometers of range. For someone like me that works 8 kilometers away and would be looking into the electric market, this is definitely the cheapest and best bang for your buck. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and catch you guys on the next video.